Todd Young Online presents Young Tales. Tales for the young and the young at heart. Today's story:
The Aeneid Part 1, The Adventures of Aeneas. On the night Troy burned, when the wooden horse disgorged its hidden warriors and the city's fate was sealed, Aeneas fought with the valor of a doomed man. Yet the gods had decreed another destiny for him. Guided by visions and the will of the divine, he gathered what he could of his family: his aged father Anchises, his young son Ascanius, and his beloved wife Creusa. With Anchises upon his shoulders and Ascanius in hand, he fled through the chaos, only to find Creusa lost in the crush of fleeing citizens. Her shade appeared to him, bidding him not to grieve, but to go on and fulfill his fate. At a rendezvous outside the city, other Trojan survivors assembled. Together they prepared a fleet and set sail in search of a new home. Their first landing was on the shores of Thrace, where they intended to build a settlement, but an ominous sign turned them away. While preparing to offer sacrifice, Aeneas broke a branch from a bush, only to see it drip blood. A voice from the ground revealed itself as Polydorus, a Trojan prince murdered by the Thracian king for gold. The land was stained by treachery, and they abandoned. Next, they sailed to Delos, sacred to Apollo and Diana. There, Aeneas sought counsel from Apollo's oracle and received a cryptic message. "Seek your ancient mother. There your race shall flourish and rule the nations." Anchises believed this meant Crete, the fabled home of their forefathers, and so they set sail. But famine and plague struck them there, and in a dream the household gods revealed the truth. Italy, the western land called Hesperia, was their destined home. Resuming their voyage, they reached the land of the Harpies, creatures with the bodies of birds and the faces of famished women. The Trojans feasted on the island's cattle, but the Harpies swooped down, snatching the food from their hands and defiling what they could not carry. One of the monsters shrieked a prophecy. Hunger would drive them to eat their very tables before they reached their promised land. From there, they came to Epirus, where Aeneas was astonished to meet fellow Trojans, Andromache, widow of Hector, and Helenus, son of Priam, both now rulers in exile. They welcomed him warmly, and Helenus, skilled in prophecy, warned Aeneas to avoid the strait guarded by Scylla and Charybdis, and to seek the guidance of the Sibyl in Italy. Sailing on, the Trojans skirted the dreaded waters and came to Sicily, passing the land of the Cyclops. There, a ragged Greek hailed them from the shore, one of Ulysses' men, left behind after their escape from the giant Polyphemus. They took him aboard just as the blinded monster came down to the water, wading deep into the surf and bellowing for his kin. The Trojans rowed hard and escaped the grasp of the towering shapes lining the coast. But Juno, still nursing her ancient grudge against the sons of Troy, was not done with them. She went to Aeolus, king of the winds, and begged for a storm to scatter the fleet. Aeolus unleashed the tempest, and the ships were driven far off course toward the coast of Africa. Neptune, angered that the winds had trespassed in his domain without leave, calmed the seas and guided the battered fleet to a safe harbor. It was the harbor of Carthage, where Aeneas' path would cross with a queen whose love and tragedy would leave a mark on both their fates. And here's where we end for today.
Young Tales is produced and narrated by Todd Young from Todd Young Online. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe and join us next time for another story. Thank you for your support.